Hello and welcome to 306090 production. My name is Abner Dias and today I'm at a very beautiful property. Now I call it a property filled with nature. If it's nature, it's rhythm. And I'm here in the heart of Lonavala at this lavish 5-star property named Rhythm. And with me I have a delightful personality. Well, I'm going to read a little about him. Now he's someone who has graduated from the Wharton School of Business with degrees in finance and economics. Well, he has worked with Wall Street in New York and he was also one of the first members in India to be a part of Lehman Brothers. And now the big switch. The switch is he's a part of Rhythm and he has Rhythm going all over him. He is someone I know now is very dynamic, owns the property, and yes, you've heard it right, the director of Rhythm, the managing director with me, none other than Mr. Vaibhav Jatia. Hello sir, and a warm welcome. You know, your smile itself gives me like the power before everything. And thank you and welcome sir.
Thank you so much for the introduction, and thank you and your whole team for being here, and we hope that you're having a comfortable stay.
Yes, we are. So just like this beautiful property and the nature, you have a mesmerizing smile and that itself motivates me. Now I want to understand from you, what is your vision behind the theme Rhythm?
So when we constructed this property, we were aware that people are living all types of stressful lives in the cities, and we wanted to give them a place where they could come. We could give them hospitality services and experience. We should really take them out of that city life and make them leave all their worries behind and just enjoy the time that they spend in the mountains, enjoy the good weather, enjoy the good climate. There's a rhythm in everything in life. That's what we believe. Whether it's the nature, whether it's human interaction, whether it's kind of even how your own body functions, right? So that's kind of the essence of the world in which we live in, and that's the kind of essence that we want to bring to the property and to the experience of the guests when they come and stay with us.
Awesome. So when they talk of rhythm, the first thing that comes in your mind, at least the first thing that comes in my mind, is the music. And it is so beautifully to hear from you that nature has its own rhythm. So for people who are in a stressful life, I mean everyone who in the city are in a stressful life, if you want the rhythm in your heart, you want the rhythm in your mind, and you want that weekend getaway, which is very closer, it's Lonavala, Rhythm Lonavala. And talking about Rhythm Lonavala, the one thing that I loved the most when I entered the property was the interiors. So I'm going to ask you, sir, the interiors and the architecture inside seems to be very royal, vintage, British, American style. Is it inspired from the West?
So it's an interesting question that you ask. We have borrowed elements from all over the world in order to create a very unique identity for this property. Everything has been curated to the specifics of the location. A lot of local elements have also been used, so whether it is an Indian cement mosaic tile that's been put, a lot of elements from Rajasthan that have come. Obviously the architecture is very colonial, it has that Southeast Asian
very much
theme that you mentioned. So I must give a lot of credit to the chairman of our company, who's my father, Mr. Vaibhav Jatia. He's very passionate about interiors. He's personally traveled to Bali, China, Italy, Spain, and a lot of the elements that you see in this property are handpicked by him. So I'm glad that you have liked it, and we invite all your guests to come and check it out as well.
Oh, lovely. And if you come in here, I'm sure you'll be the first person to comment on the interiors. Trust me, you will do it, because the interiors take you to a very colonial era. Trust me, that's the word. Now, talking of the interiors, another thing that you'll notice when you'll come here in the property is the logo itself. It's all about banyan tree, and there are so many trees around. Why the banyan tree?
So there's a very interesting history to this question that you asked, right? This was an old property with a lot of old trees, as many as 70 old trees. When we did the planning and the construction, we decided as a as a theme that no tree should be cut. Okay, so we gave the architect a challenging scope to design and build the property, keeping each and every tree intact. If you notice, in the middle of the swimming pool also there's one tree that comes down. So nature is so essential. Nature has a way of kind of reinventing itself. We were fortunate to have those natural elements within the property, and that's something we have kept going. I mean, development and preservation of nature don't need to compete with one another, right? It can work in collaborative forces as well, which is what we are trying to show.
Absolutely. In fact, the best part about Rhythm Lonavala is when you come inside, you will see the tree is going and there's architecture surrounded by it. I must call this effective utilization of nature. Like they say, effective utilization of space. This is absolute effective utilization of nature, and you will feel one with nature. The first thing that you enter inside is you feel that oneness with nature. Talking of hospitality, hotel industry itself is very challenging. Like we talk of Lonavala, there are many resorts and hotels. Now, what is that one key factor that sets Rhythm apart from others?
So, like you rightly said, there's a lot that goes into make any hospitality venture successful, right?
Correct.
You need good property, you need good architecture, good interiors, like you mentioned. You need top services, you need good people, you need the right warmth in their service. All of this, when magically they come together, right? There is an X factor that's there, and that X factor is rhythm, right? It's something which can't be specified in words, but when it all comes together, then everyone who enters the property gets that feel, So I think that's something which we have spent a lot of time, focus, energy on, and we have so many guests who've stayed with us, and when they have visited and they've gone back and they've given us feedback, they've all appreciated that level of service and that level of kind of differentiation that our property has, and they've all gone back with a very fresh mindset, and that's why they keep coming again and again to experience it.
Correct. So the one thing I'm going to give a click to this is the X factor. That X factor can't be spoken in words. The X factor has to be experienced. So for those of you all who have not got the taste of nature in real sense, I think you should visit the Rhythm Lonavala, because the X factor is something that you are going to get absorbed with, and that is a part of the Rhythm Lonavala. Talking, sir, about the guests, the feedback that they have given. I'm sure every guest has given a great feedback, but one message that you would like to give your guests.
Sure. So, we've had, I think, more than 4 lakhs guests stay with us. We are blessed for your support, whether it's for your destination wedding or for it's a corporate event or for spending time with your families and loved ones. You all have been coming to Rhythm since the last 4.5, 5 years. So thank you so much for your continued support. We look forward to being of service to you again and again. It means so much to us that you entrust us with the most important moments and events in your life. Marriage of your daughter, important team building activity for your company. You put so much of faith and trust in us and in our team. So thank you so much for your support.
So if it's corporate events, if it's weddings, you know where to come, to the place that has the X factor, that is the Rhythm Lonavala. And one thing that after hearing you out, one question probably that just comes in my heart to ask you is, who's been your inspiration in the hospitality industry?
It's an interesting question. It is a challenging industry, like you mentioned.
Correct.
There are many cases of hospitality professionals who have created great wonders, great assets, but the business itself has not been too successful.
True.
Then there are certain examples of people who have been successful in the business, in the math, but the properties themselves are nothing great to speak about.
True. True.
So I think India is yet to find that balance of both.
Great.
Great hospitality and great business. We intend, or our vision is for Rhythm to be a global hospitality brand.
Wow.
competing with your major global players. So we feel, just how there are so many Indian brands that are doing well in so many different segments and sectors, right? There's time for an Indian brand to also kind of come up in that global landscape. So, in terms of inspirations, there are many individuals and groups overseas. The Marriott Group is one of them. They have been fantastic for so many years. Hyatt Group, which is run out of the US, that's been great success story. But if you ask me, I do draw a lot of inspiration from my father, who's the chairman of our company, who is, been the main, I would say, architect for what you see in front of us. So I do draw a lot of inspiration from him.
Okay, so the big daddy, I must say, of rhythm is what the beta says is my inspiration, is daddy himself. And sir, one last message that we at 306090 Production are a very youthful channel. A lot of youngsters look up to people that we meet. So one message that you would like to give to the youth of our nation?
Yeah, absolutely. We're in very interesting times in India, both on the business front, on the political front, on the social economic front. There's lots of opportunities available, in our country. I would, advise all young entrepreneurs to be bold, to look at innovative business models. The pace at which business is growing in the next few years and decades is not something that anyone has seen previously. So be bold, be innovative, and follow your passion.
Be bold, be innovative, and follow your passion. And when you're following your passion, there's going to be stress in your life, and to de-stress, you know where to come? The rhythm, Lonavala. Alright, sir. So with that we end, and before we end, sir, we'd like to do a punch out with you, sir. That's just a punch. So this is like the new way of saying a hi. But sir, we're going to do this like for 5 times non-stop, sir. Alright? There we do it, sir. Yeah. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. So if you're in Lonavala, you need to be a part of this beautiful nature, in the lap of nature. Like I say, if it's nature, it's rhythm. And Rhythm Lonavala is present on all the social handles. You can check them out on Instagram, Facebook, you can check them out on YouTube. And yes, my dear friends, in a stressful life, all you need is a little dose of nature, a little dose of rhythm, and trust me, a place that you would want to be a part of. Also subscribe to our channel 306090 Production, because hum sab angle se lenge.